Good evening. The world is on edge tonight after Iran made good on its promise, launching a revenge attack on the United States following the death of its top military leader. The country firing a series of strikes on 2 military bases in Iraq full of US troops.
Ballistic missiles leaving Iran bound for neighbouring Iraq. And in Iraq, the result. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard launched the attack on 2 bases hosting US and coalition forces, the Ain Assad base west of Baghdad and another at Erbil in Iraq's north. The Pentagon says it's conducting initial battle damage assessments. The Ain Assad airbase is the same one President Trump made a surprise visit to on Christmas Day in 2018, his first to a combat zone.
Well, first of all, at ease. Let's have a good time.
Hours before the attack, this warning from Iran's foreign minister.
The United States took an act of war against Iran. It will have to be prepared for the consequences. Arrogance and ignorance, when combined, it's this.
It was a flight she begged her husband not to pilot, and it was the flight that killed him. The wife of the captain of the Ukrainian airliner that crashed in Iran is consumed by grief. She's comforted by her father and friends as they pay tribute to him and the 10 other Ukrainian victims at Kiev airport. It's from here that Captain Volodymyr Gaponenko took off and never returned. Katerina told me about their last conversation.
Did you feel nervous because you knew the situation on the ground and you knew your husband was flying? Did you feel nervous on that morning?
Конечно, были какие-то предчувствия. Их было много. Я просила его не лететь, я просила его не делать этого. Но он сказал фразу, которую, уже ее не вернешь. Он сказал, если не я, то никто более. Если я есть в наряде, значит рейс есть, рейс запланирован, и я лечу. Я его просила остаться.
The ball of flames.
Well, good evening once again from our NBC News headquarters here in New York. Day 1085 of the Trump administration and 299 days until the presidential election. Donald Trump is making a new case for ordering the killing that brought the U.S. to the brink of a wider conflict with Iran. This morning in the Roosevelt Room, Trump defended the drone strike that dispatched the Iranian commander 1 week ago now, and he continued to make his case tonight at his first rally of this 2020 election year in the critical state of Ohio.
We caught a total monster, and we took him out, and that should have happened a long time ago. We did it because they were looking to blow up our embassy, and he had more than that particular embassy in mind.
And he was looking very seriously at our embassies and not just the embassy in Baghdad. He loved planting the roadside bomb. So now he's gone.
Up until now, all this administration had said is that Soleimani was planning imminent attacks on Americans and U.S. interests in the Middle East. There was also the explanation top Trump officials gave Congress at that classified briefing yesterday. Democrats came out highly critical, and indeed, so did some Republicans. Late this afternoon, the House passed a war powers resolution that forces Trump to go to Congress for authorization before taking any future military action against Iran. The vote was 224 to 194, mostly along party lines. Tonight, Trump blasted the vote, and House Democrats moved to put a check on his powers to reassert congressional authority.
They're all trying to say, how dare you take him out that way? You should get permission from Congress. These are split-second decisions. You have to make a decision. So they don't want me to make that decision. They want me to call up, maybe go over there. Let me go over to Congress, or come on over to the White House. Let's talk about it. We heard where he was. We knew the way he was getting there. And we had to make a decision. We didn't have time to call up Nancy, who was not operating with a full deck. Can you imagine calling crooked Adam Schiff? They want us to tell them so that they can leak it to their friends in the corrupt media.
As for the public, a new USA Today missile shot down a commercial jetliner just after takeoff on the very same night as that missile attack. We'll have more on that a bit later on in our broadcast. Meanwhile, Trump is trying to manage the fallout from all of this as he watches Mitch McConnell fight his battles on impeachment. NBC News reporting the two met yesterday at the White House to talk about it. Today, McConnell issued this new warning to Pelosi, who has yet to transmit those articles of impeachment over to the Senate.
If the Speaker continues to refuse to take her own accusations to trial, the Senate will move forward next week with the business of our people. We will operate on the assumption that House Democrats are too embarrassed to ever move forward.
It appears that everything will have to wait for Congress to come back from yet another three-day weekend recess. Pelosi, who is featured on the cover of this week's Time magazine, responded to McConnell and made it clear she's not about to be pushed into making any moves.
We are concerned that the senators will not be able to live up to the oath that they must take to have an impartial trial.
So are you willing to hold on to the articles indefinitely?
No, I'm not holding them indefinitely. I'll send them over when I'm ready. And that will probably be soon. We want to see what they're willing to do and the manner in which they will do it. We need to see the arena in which we are sending our managers. Is that too much to ask?
She has used that word before, her concern about after things get underway. Former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton is someone the Democrats and maybe a few Republicans are eager to hear from, and he's agreed to testify if indeed he receives a subpoena. Today, Trump sounded somewhat hesitant about the prospect of this particular former employee under oath.
Do you have a problem with John Bolton testifying in the Senate trial?
I'd have to ask the lawyers because we do have to me, for the future, we have to protect presidential privilege. When we start allowing national security advisors to just go up and say whatever they want to say, we can't do that.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to